Hi everyone, and welcome to the section on the area of a triangle. As you recall, we have two formulas to find the area of a triangle. And way back in grade school, you probably learned the area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 the base times the height. And then a couple weeks ago, we talked about Hero's formula. So S is equal to the first side plus the second side plus the third side, all divided by 2. And then the area is the square root of this S times S minus the first side times S minus the second side times S minus the third side. Well, did you know that there's another way to find the area of a triangle? Well, there is, and the formula is 1/2 AB times the sine of C. So if we draw a picture, so we have A, B, and C. We would know side A and side B and then angle C. So in other words, if we have a side, angle, side triangle, we can find the area using this formula. Now these two versions just swap out the variables. So you would have AC and the sine of B. We'd have BC times the sine of A. And of course, all 1/2 times that. But so if you have a side, angle, side, we can find the area of a triangle. So let's take a look at a couple examples. Number 1 says find the area of a triangle with sides of length 8 and 24, and the included angle is 20. So the included angle means that it's the angle in between those two sides. It's included in those two sides. And so, let's see, what is this? 20 degrees. Boy, is this not drawn to scale. But we would have 1/2 8 times 24, not 20. So 1/2 8 times 24 times the sine of 20 degrees. And so you type that in your calculator and you get 32.8 square units. Okay, well, what if we know the area, but we're missing a side? Well, we can use this formula. So we can use this formula to find the length of a side when we know its area. So for example, we have an isosceles triangle. So refresh my memory. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where two sides are equal. So let's say this side and this side are equal. And the area is 955 square feet. And the angle between the two equal sides is 78 degrees. So find the length of the two equal sides. So we know the area is 955. 1/2 comes down here. Well, these two sides are equal, so we can call them like X and X, or I called them A and A. So A times the sine of the included angle, which is 78 degrees. So move the 1/2 over and the sine of 78 degrees over. So A would equal all of this, and then take the square root, and you get 44.2 feet. Well, the next example says, do you think we can use this formula to find an angle if we know the area and the sides? Well, obviously we do, because if we know the area and the sides, the only variable would be that included angle. So, a triangle has an area of 11,564 square meters, and two sides of the triangle have length 164 meters and 146 meters. So we plug those two sides in. It says find the angle included by these two sides. Note, there are two possible answers. Find both accurate to 2 decimal places. 2 answers? What do we mean by that? Well, let's see. So we plugged in the numbers. We want to solve for C. So let's get the sign of C by itself. So multiply both sides by 2, divided by 164 times 146. And so we would have the sign of C is equal to all this. To get C by itself, take the inverse sign. So inverse sign of all of this. We'll type that in our calculator. And we get 75.0 degrees. But then it wants the second angle. Well, remember smart trig class and our little bow ties here. Well, if we have 75 degrees here, we're going to have 75 degrees here, but this is the angle that we care about. So that would be 180 degrees minus the 75 degrees is 105 degrees. So how exciting! Not only can we find an angle, but there's actually 2 angles. So don't forget, when we're taking the inverse sign, we could have those 2 angles. Okay, so let's stop here. Go on and watch the next video, and I'll see you soon.